Listen up, y'all. Early primary voting is happening right now in Texas, and we need Jasmine Crockett to win. She is running for U.S. Senate, and if you want somebody that's going to fight for your right, if you want somebody to fight for your community, if you want somebody that's going to go up there and represent you and represent your issues, please vote for my sister Jasmine Crockett. Because one thing about it, she's going to fight her best. She's going to fight whoever she has to, so your voice and your problems could be heard. Vote right now. This counts so much. Vote right now.
Right, I'm 71. I've never rallied for anything in my life, but I came out for Jasmine because I believe in her and I know she's going to win.
If you've never heard of my opponent before this race, I just want you to ask yourself why.
Come on!
Yeah. That's it. Like, it's not shade, these are facts. My opponent has been an elected official longer than I have been. Wow. Yeah, for somebody who was surprised. Yes. Yes. When I got to the State House, he was already there. To be clear.
And since I got time and people want to be ignorant in my comments, vote Jasmine Crockett. Vote Jasmine Crockett. I ain't got to say nothing else but go vote Jasmine Crockett and be ready to see my video when I'm walking my tail up to that office with my birth certificate and I vote. And I refuse to have somebody tell me that I'm not going to be able to vote because I need this, that, and the third. Baby, I got it. I got a lease agreement. I got a light bill. What do you need? Okay? Because I could have sworn every time I fill out any application, any type of form, it said I was a citizen of the United States, unfortunately. Vote Jasmine Crockett now.
With all the controversy going on with the Texas Senate race, yeah, it's time to have a conversation about the white moderate that Dr. King used to preach about. The amount of racism that Jasmine Crockett and her supporters have had since she announced that she was running for Senate is absolutely ridiculous, but not surprising. Now, I don't live in Texas, so I'm not a Texas voter, but I am a black Southern Democrat living in a red state, and I have been following this Senate race very closely. The fact that so many white Democrats think that in order to be competitive in a Texas Senate race, you have to be white, male, and Christian is just blowing my mind, because that is literally the exact same candidate that we continue to run in Texas and lose, i.e. Beto. Personally, I think both candidates are going to really struggle in a general election because it's Texas. Like, hello, it's Texas. Both of these candidates are going to struggle. But y'all need to wake up from the delusion that you have to be white and male in order to even be competitive. Because at the end of the day, y'all continuously give second chance and second chance and second chance to candidates who look like him. But when it comes to Jasmine Crockett entering the race, all hell's breaking loose. Jasmine Crockett is a fighter, okay? She is going to go toe-to-toe with any Republican in Congress. She is going to fight fire with fire, and that is the exact kind of leader we need for an opposition party right now. We don't need another good little boy who's just gonna go along to get along and nod in agreements with Republicans like Lauren Boebert of all people. I mean, Lauren Boebert? I do want to congratulate you on the success so far in your campaign. Maybe I should endorse Jasmine Crockett so you could do a little better. Like, really? Also, the fact that James Tallarico is so obsessed with throwing Joe Biden under the bus and repeating all these Republican talking points about how he failed us is also very bizarre. Listen, if y'all want another Fetterman in Congress, then by all means, vote for James Tallarico. But if you want a fighter, somebody that's going to lead an opposition party against the Trump administration, then please vote for Jasmine Crockett.
So there are multiple Democrats running for Senate, but only one of us is already fighting Trump to lower costs, protect healthcare, and raise wages. Only one of us has taken on bullies from the courtroom to Congress and won. And only one of us is being attacked by Governor Abbott and billionaires on TV because they know I fight for you. And together we can win. I'm Jasmine Crockett, and I approve this message because the only thing they fear more than one of us is all of us.
And a lot of the problem I have with y'all is y'all keep saying that Jasmine Crockett is corporate funded. Y'all keep trying to base y'all argument on why y'all are not voting for her off the fact that y'all are saying she took corporate PAC money. And then some little creator throws some raggedy numbers up on the screen and then y'all run off with it, except y'all don't put into context or nuance what and how these things actually work or are. So let's break this down real quick, okay? Number one, corporate PAC money is not the same thing as a corporate company or a CEO writing a check. Federal laws do not allow companies to just dump checks or corporate money into a campaign for candidates that they like. Most of those PACs are funded by employees who chose to donate. Yes, they are higher level employees most of the time, managers, people on higher levels. But it is not some CEO pressing a button, writing a check like y'all are trying to make it out to be. And number two, y'all are mixing up two different races, okay? Because money from a past House race or party fundraising does not automatically mean that that same funding exists in the current race. Like, hello. And number three, because this is the main part y'all keep skipping right over, right? Y'all ain't looking at the percentages. Why is that? Why are we not looking into the nuance? Why are we not filling in the context? Because you have to look at the percentages, not just big scary numbers. A small PAC donation made to a candidate is not the same thing as being corporately funded. So when you see a small donation inside millions raised, right, for a campaign, that does not equal corporate funded. So y'all keep saying she took corporate PAC money. She took corporate PAC money. Which PAC? Which election cycle? And what percentage of the total was that PAC? Oh, it's okay, because we're going to show the math, right? I'm going to show it for you. This is Jasmine's 2024 House race funding breakdown, okay? As you can see, y'all want to see where the PAC donation is. It's right there in the green, okay? It was 23.1% out of the whole pie, so we can see it broken down nicely here. Let's go to the primary race for 2026. Oh, 3%. 3%. This is corporate funded. 95% of her money has come from individuals, not PAC, in the primary race that we are voting for right now, that y'all keep saying, I can't vote for her, she's taking PAC money. Huh? But y'all will vote for a white Christian man. Y'all will complain about how the patriarchy is crushing us, harming you, but you're gonna continue to vote for it? All because you couldn't be bothered to check the context and check the math. Because really, I need y'all to pick a lane when it comes to this PAC corporate campaign money conversation. Y'all are so focused on Jasmine's past campaign PAC money from a previous race, but y'all be the same people who are super silent when it comes to Tallarico's current super PAC outside money. Huh? Why ain't y'all talking about that? There is current super PAC money being spent to push this candidate, Tallarico, and y'all ain't saying shit about it. Y'all ain't said shit about it. Why not? Why not? Only 3% of Jasmine's money has been PAC for this race. And it says PAC plus other sources are contributing to that 3%. Because you also treat all PACs the same. Labor unions, advocacy organizations, and corporate PACs are all legally PACs. So which was it? Y'all even look into that? And let me be clear, campaign PAC money and outside PAC money are not in the same pot, okay? But if y'all are going to sit here and talk about how you care so much about PAC money being influential, y'all can't deny that even if it comes from an outside super PAC money spent on commercials, spent on whatever other campaign shit to try to push this candidate, y'all gotta be concerned across the board, not just with one specific candidate. Because if your concern is PAC influence and PAC money, you can't just be concerned with that influence when it comes to one candidate and not the same for the other. You're holding that black woman to a different standard than that white Christian man. Because I wonder why that is. See, y'all ain't going to get to sit up here on a Monday and talk about how PAC money is evil, and then on a Tuesday ignore millions of PAC money spent from outside sources to influence and to push a particular candidate. So y'all just going to ignore millions in independent spending because you like that candidate? Y'all either apply the same standard to everybody or just admit it ain't about the money. Just admit it ain't about the money. It's really about...
Good. It's Method Man right here. I'm gonna keep this message short and brief. Texas, it's time to vote. I need you to go out there and vote for my homie, my peoples, someone I trust, Jasmine Crockett as your next U.S. Senator. She is the leader we know and a fighter we can trust. So make sure you get out there, let your voice be heard. Salute.
Hey guys, I'm here outside of the Potter House in Texas, and I'm here for an event for Jasmine Crockett, Texas Strong.
Senator Jasmine Crockett.
I know you're tired. You're all over the place. You're still working in D.C. and people do that. I am. I'm still working as well as trying to get across the state and on week. Listen, it's our time. Don't let anybody tell you different. Nobody's coming to save us. We are who we have been waiting on. And right now,
It was meant to target women whose names had changed.
Here at an event for Jasmine Crockett. It was awesome. I got my yard sign. I'm going to be representing for my girl. She's awesome. We got to get her to win this primary so she can run the general election and win and represent Texas in the Senate. We need fighters in the Senate, and Jasmine Crockett is the one. What's my girl?
My way to vote for Jasmine Crockett. She's running for the Democrat Senate seat. If you're in her district, make sure you get out and vote. She'll fight for us in Washington.
I just got to tell you, this Tallarico guy. So Jose, he's on TikTok, Jose Can You See, also on Twitter, and he posted this quote from Tallarico as he was talking to Joe Rogan. It's a different screenshot. I think Joe Rogan is doing what he's doing, maybe how we can fix this democracy, and we should listen to our enemies and stuff like that, right? Because he thinks that he can quote a couple of scriptures that he can win over MAGA. So he's been talking to MAGA a lot. And he says that Joe Biden is a failure and Joe Rogan is the savior of our democracy. Now, remember, Joe Rogan is a Trump supporter. He's a two-time Trump supporter, right? He's a conspiracy theorist. He is a known racist. Just look up his videos of him all up in that N-word. And he's a crackpot, right? It's just out there. But he has a big old platform because Spotify likes people like Joe Rogan. He says Joe Rogan is the savior of our democracy. Now, his mouthpiece over on Twitter, this little tiny guy named Keith Edwards here, he's been trolling Jose for a couple weeks, right? And so Jose had tweeted that out. James called Biden a failure. Now, has he ever been that bold with his criticism from Trump? His supporters say that he has, but they can't provide any quotes or anything. Anything where he says Trump has failed us on XYZ would help. Now, here's what's important. His little mouthpiece up there, Keith Edwards, says, please make this go viral. Tallarico was independent of the Democratic Party and its leaders, and it's essential that Texas know that. Now, I agree with Keithy here, but not in a way that he is meaning this to be. Democratic voters, especially, not exclusively, but especially Democratic voters who are Latino and Black in Texas, who are always gerrymandered, and they do so much to prevent you from voting in your populations, particularly in Houston, where black people live and vote. In other areas, but Houston is so massive. This is him letting you know that he's not really, Tallarico's not a Democrat. And many people have said he's going to turn into a John Fetterman. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Or Kristen Sinema, or Joe Manchin. He's telling you right now, he is independent of the party. So, look, I'm not in Texas. I don't vote there. But we all have an interest what is happening now and eventually in the House and in the Senate and so forth. And if I were in Texas, I would recognize this for what it is. Tallarico is not for you. He is for Republicans and the right-wingers. He is not part of the Democratic Party. He is independent. Vote for Jasmine Crockett.
For years, Jasmine Crockett was everything that the far left claimed that they wanted in a leader. A brilliant civil rights attorney, a fierce advocate for voting rights, a woman who stood in committee hearings and dismantled Republican talking points with surgical precision. When she called out Trump and the Republican Party, progressive far leftists erupted in applause. When she became a national voice of the Democratic Party representing the future of a multiracial democracy fighting for the working class, she was hailed as our Democratic superstar. It was when she was convenient. That was when she was their megaphone, their frontline soldier, not when she became their candidate. Representative Jasmine Crockett announced she was running for the United States Senate. Praise from the far left is oddly not there. Instead, they gave their support to her opponent, James Tellerico, a 2-year middle school teacher, youth pastor, and state representative. A man whose legislative accomplishments, while respectable, pale in comparison to Crockett's record as a practicing civil rights attorney, elected official in both the Texas House and the United States House of Representatives, and national party leader, who served as co-chair for the Harris-Walz campaign. America's far left is backing this man who has centered his campaign on opposing billionaire influence, blasting wealthy donors, and proposing a $10,000 contribution cap. But he still accepted a $59,000 check, one from Republican mega donor Marion Adelson. Yes, the same Adelson who poured $100 million into pro-Trump efforts in 2020. Black women are celebrated as symbols, but not trusted as leaders. They can be the voice of your movement, the face of your resistance, the warrior in your viral videos, holding the goddamn megaphone. But when it comes time to actually give them power, to let them do the work, when they ask you for your support to move up and not just speak out, suddenly, there are concerns about electability. Texas Democratic primary is on March 3rd, and early voting has already started. Democrats will have a choice. Will they support the black woman with the record, the credentials, and a national standing, or will they continue the pattern of praising black women when it's convenient and abandoning them when it counts? For the work that she's done, for the sacrifices that she's made, Representative Jasmine Crockett deserves better than to be discarded by the same people who made her a star. And frankly, to be honest, so does the Democrat.
Hey, people, it's your brother Vansilk back. Last week was a rough week, but it's all good. So listen, it's common sense with Vansilk. Let's talk about it. Seriously, let's talk about it. The Texas vote. You mean to tell me we're going to do this all over again because she's a woman of color? You don't think Jasmine Crockett is electable? Now she's not electable. As a congresswoman in her district, all the fighting she's been doing the last 2 years, now all of a sudden she's not electable. You know what this is? Racism. And all I'm going to say is that we got to get out and support Jasmine Crockett. Make sure you follow her page on Instagram and make sure you follow her TikTok. Make sure you'll get out there and vote because she's already been inside the system. Nothing against her running, nothing against the person that's running against her. But you're the school teacher? All I'm just trying to say is, let's not let it happen again. We already learned from the last election. Do not mess up again, Texas. Don't mess up Texas. Texas, do not mess up. Jasmine Crockett is electable. Okay? Thank you. Common Sense with Vansilk, right here on YouTube. Y'all have a blessed day.
Because how is a white Christian pastor going to save us from white Christian nationalists when those Republicans are donating to said white man pastor? He gets money from the same donor that donates to Trump. If somebody who likes Trump likes this man, why the fuck would I vote for him? How is a man who is a Christian and a white man and has never experienced racism, cannot speak from experience of what it's like to be black and brown in America, and also subscribes to white national Christianity, right? And is in bed with the same people who Trump has supporting him? How am I supposed to think that this man is the best candidate for me? How am I supposed to believe that this man is going to know what issues I feel need attention and are urgent? How is this man going to represent me? How is this man going to tackle the things that matter to me and my community? I don't know if y'all see it, but he's already starting to flip. He's an undercover Republican. And we told y'all that. He's an undercover Republican. And you are doing the same shit y'all did in November. You are failing an open book test. And we will never forgive you. Y'all keep saying she can't win because she's black and Texas is racist. Baby, we are a minority majority in this state. The minorities are the majority in this state. The Dems and the undecided, the people who don't vote, are the majority in this state. If we all get out and vote for this woman, she will win. I need y'all to stop voting as if you know what's going to happen. Stop voting based on what the Republicans like. Stop voting based on what the middle ground. What are y'all doing? Do y'all want real change or not? Because it's looking real sus right about now. The latest polls say that Jasmine is up. She's up. She can win this, and she will if y'all would shut up and vote for her. Stop saying I would vote for her, but I don't think that the people in the middle will vote for her. Bitch, what are you talking about? So add your number to theirs? Help their side win? Vote for her. It is very simple. Stop making excuses and go vote for that lady.
Hey y'all, so it is Jasmine Crockett, and by now I'm sure you have heard the good news. Yes, it is true. I am running to become your next United States Senator from the state of Texas. So I want to be clear. I'm not running just to run. This is about winning. Well, I'm done with politics as usual. I'm done with going along to get along, and it gets us nowhere. I'm done watching rural hospitals and public schools close their doors. I'm done watching parents be afraid to send their kids to school or the mall or the movies because Republicans have flooded our streets with guns. I'm done with the senators sitting around doing nothing while Trump takes your hard-earned money, skims your Social Security, slashes Medicare, and gives tax breaks to billionaires. I'm done. I'm done watching the American dream on life support while Trump tries to pull the plug. The gloves have been off, and now I'm jumping into the ring. I'm asking for your support to be the next United States Senator from the greatest state of Texas. When Texas turns blue, it won't be because of any one candidate, but because of each and every one of you doing your part. Together, we will send a signal to the entire nation. Don't mess with Texas.
Jasmine Crockett is Texas tough.
And certainly don't count us out.
Jasmine Crockett is Texas tough.
It's our time.
Jasmine Crockett is Texas tough.
We are one.
Man, Jasmine Crockett is Texas tough.
God bless Texas and let freedom ring.
You guys got to get out there and vote. You know what to do. That's right. We are starting voting on February 17th, and you heard it from the Kelly Rowland. Let's get out and you have a voice. Just go use it.
I go to work every single day that we're in session in DC. When I'm not in DC, I am absolutely in Texas traveling. There is no other candidate that will outwork me, and those are just the facts. Last weekend, we did over 17 stops in 2 days. I did not sleep because it was my decision to run for office. So I can't say, well, I'm sorry, I gotta be at work. Yes, I'm gonna show up for the job that I was elected to do, and that is why I am better qualified to actually go back to DC, because I am in the belly of the beast, because people know what it is to have my representation on the federal level. We have a record number of both Republicans and Democrats that are currently leaving because they don't know how to navigate this terrain. People don't have to question or wonder who I am in this specific moment. They know who I am in this specific moment. So while we are facing a government shutdown that most likely is going to occur, I am still showing up. If I don't have to be in DC, I am right here on the ground talking to the people, meeting them where they are, and I am doing it in a very, very aggressive way. So I'm with y'all this morning, but I did 4 clubs last night, and I also did a roundtable of local leaders in Houston. Got up this morning. We still have 2 more stops in East Texas, and then I'm gonna head to Dallas. I won't be done until about midnight. I will work, and that is what will matter, and that's what will make the difference, and that is how I'm gonna win.
Let me get this straight. The same folks who told us Florida was locked down, deep red, untouchable territory are now whispering in hallways like somebody just pulled the fire alarm and they don't know where the smoke is coming from. I thought everything was perfect. I thought the economy was the best ever. I thought immigration was totally under control. I thought we were winning so much, we were getting tired of winning. But now I'm hearing about panic. I'm hearing about message discipline. I'm hearing about emergency meetings and polling memos flying around like somebody just realized the math isn't mathing. You don't need
a Manhattan Project to fix a messaging problem. You need policies that don't fall apart the second working families open their grocery receipts. You need leadership that doesn't spike the ball on a 5-yard gain and then fumble at the 1-yard line. Florida was supposed to be the crown jewel, the proof, the permanent victory lap. And yet, here we are. See, what happens when you govern by grievance is eventually the grievances run out of villains and start landing on your own doorstep. When you promise economic miracles and people still feel squeezed, when you shout about strength but can't explain rising costs, when you turn every issue into a culture war but skip the kitchen table realities, folks start asking questions. Real questions. Like, why is my insurance through the roof? Why are my wages flat? Why does every storm feel like a political press conference instead of a preparedness plan? You can't brand your way out of that. You can't meme your way out of that. And you definitely can't yell your way out of that. I'm told some strategists are saying the president needs to become George Patton. Really? Last I checked, we weren't fighting a world war. We're trying to manage a state with retirees, small businesses, working parents, veterans, and communities that actually want stability more than theatrics. You don't win midterms by cosplay. You win midterms by competence. And let me say this gently. Florida voters are not props in somebody's highlight reel. They are not background actors in a campaign trailer. They are real people dealing with real bills and real storms and real uncertainty. If the political machine suddenly realizes that Florida might not be a sure thing, maybe that's not a catastrophe. Maybe that's accountability knocking at the door. Because when you tell people everything is amazing while they're stretching every dollar, eventually the applause fades. When you promise order but deliver chaos, eventually even loyal supporters start asking whether the noise is worth it. And here's the part that really gets me. The same crowd that laughed at every warning sign is now shocked that voters might be restless. Restless isn't radical. Restless is what happens when people expect results and don't see them. Florida isn't turning into anything overnight, but pretending it's immune to consequences, that's the real fantasy. So if there's panic in the room, maybe it's not because the sky is falling. Maybe it's because the illusion is thinning. You can dismiss critics. You can mock concerns. You can spin headlines into confetti, but you cannot outrun arithmetic. And come midterms, arithmetic always shows up. As we sit here on January 6th, I do want to be clear. Somebody else was trying to be a Maduro of the United States. Yep. Somebody else wanted to do the exact same thing. Yep. The difference is Maduro was successful. Mm-hmm. I also want to point out that we now, in the state of Texas and around this country, are enduring this ridiculous redistricting scheme. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Again, because he doesn't really believe in free and fair elections. Mm-hmm. So again, this idea that he is doing this for a great reason, he made it clear, because it's my understanding that when he went into that press conference, he said at least 20 times, oil, 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 mm-hmm. oil, oil.
He sure did.
Listen to him when he speaks. He's telegraphing. And so Jack Smith, I hate that he did not get his day in court. I hate that.
Latinos, let's stand up. Let's do this.
No soy la sangre del indio, soy latino, soy mestizo. Somos de todos colores y de todos los oficios.
Every time there's a cleanup on aisle 9, they seem to come and find a Democrat to do it, and then they get amnesia, okay? So I'm telling you, I am confident. It doesn't matter who the Democratic nominee is going to be, we're going to win. But what are we going to need to do then? For me, it's getting aggressive. Now listen, I'm not going to say this what we going to do, but I'm telling y'all what my vision would be. Number one, this Supreme Court is corrupt. So again, serving on the Judiciary Committee, there are bills that we have put into place. We need to have some real guardrails around this Supreme Court. Because the Supreme Court has paved the way for half the stuff that we see that's going on. Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, we know that. He is.
democracy, he still would not be able to get away with this. But he's been able to get away with this because the House Republicans are complicit. He's been able to get away with this because Senate Republicans are complicit. But most importantly, the courts, especially the Supreme Court, is complicit. And so I think one of the places that we have to start is we are absolutely, they are the highest court in the land, and they have no ethics guardrails. Now you go down to the lower courts, and they do. How much sense does that make? When we know that they're taking money, we have the paper trail, and they refuse to put guardrails on themselves, so it's time for us to do it more.
There's a primary happening in Texas right now. And why am I interested in Texas? I'm all the way in Pennsylvania. I will tell you why I am interested. Because for 250 years, mostly white men have represented the constituents. Look up the numbers. I'm not making this up. You know it fundamentally. It's a boys' club. Texas has an opportunity to change the narrative. You have an opportunity in Jasmine Crockett. She is a civil rights lawyer. You do not go into civil rights law unless you already have a passion for helping citizens with civil rights lawsuits. And we see it every day. Politics is truly a boys' club. We have some women up there on the Hill, and some of them want to be in the boys' club, and they diminish themselves. And others stand outside because the boys don't want to let the girls into the club. Women are fighters, and they will make themselves heard, and they will stand outside of the box. Women have to work harder. We don't have a choice. And we already fumbled an election in 2024. Please, please, Texas, don't fumble this. And there's no hate to James Tallarico. None at all. But I think men have had their opportunity for 250 years. They've not done much to make things better for us. We need to change the narrative. And I really do think that Jasmine Crockett is the person to do that.